Hello, everybody. It is 11 a.m. my time, so we'll get started. Welcome to our Formweb in 15 minutes webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about our new file manager tool in Formweb. Flashing this at the beginning so you have all of our information in case you want to reach out if you have any questions about this webinar. And then I'm also going to show you our webinar schedule for, oh my gosh, the next few months. If you look at this, we're going to be doing 2 a month all the way through September. So we'll be filling your summer calendars up. Just to introduce everybody, we have Laura Paxton. She is our CEO. I am Caroline McBreen. I'm our COO. And then we have Charlene Kristen, our Customer Success Director, who's going to be walking you through our new file manager tool. And first, we're going to have Laura give us a brief intro on what Formweb is for those of you who might not be familiar with it. So, Laura, if my screen is sharing properly, take it away.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining us to learn more about our formulary product, Formweb. Before we get started discussing the file manager and the new enhancements that we've added, let's do a quick review of Formweb so you'll be familiar with our terminology as we discuss the various challenges that Formweb can help you with. So as we look at the Formweb site, notice that the left side of the screen under the Formweb by Our Farmy logo is all about the formulary. And you see the formulary addition request form, and that is an electronic form that people can fill out when they want to request a new drug be added to the formulary, totally customizable. Going on down the page, there are 4 different ways you can search for a drug. Search by name, search by therapeutic class. You can search by the alpha dropdown, or you can actually use one of the subcategories like high alert, black box, biosimilar. What you're going to notice as we go through all of these form websites is that subcategory listing is different for every single client because you all do things differently. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that left side, you see questions and suggestions. You see a link. So many of our clients who have our has drug site, our USP 800 software, they actually link to that site right there on their Formweb left nav. And then you, of course, at the bottom, you have the QR code so that people can add this site to their phones to make it easier to access this information anywhere in the hospital. On the right side of the page, this today is a piece of our file management that affects this right side of the page. We call this our medication safety portal. Our clients call it that, and they also call it the Pharmacy Resource Center. So we'll delve into this in a great deal of detail over the next several weeks. But just to familiarize yourself with the site, and scrolling down, you'll also notice not only can you publish web pages on this Formweb product, you can also host and publish news stories that are pertinent to your organization. So thank you again for joining us. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Charlene so that she can talk to you about our new file management system.
Okay, thanks, Laura. All right, so let's get started. Let me change this view. Okay, remove that. All right. Is everybody seeing this okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good. All right, so this is the file manager, but it's in our, let me switch this to our training site. And so this is once you go into the editor for anybody on here that doesn't have our Formweb platform. So once you go into the editor, you will have files as one of your menu items. And once you select that, you will see your list of files that you have added. And to add a new file, you just click on New File. And then what we're talking about today mainly is this new feature of adding expiration dates to files. Expiration dates, review dates, whatever you like to call them. But so what we'll do, let's just go through how that process works and how we add a file and create the information to add the expiration or the review date. So we will add a file and let's see. I had this all figured out and sorry.
And while Charlene is adding
Okay.
that file, I want to add one thing. And the reason we created this tool, and Laura, Charlene, feel free to jump in and correct me. A lot of our clients gave us feedback that, okay, so we have all of these policies that we house in Formweb, and they need to be reviewed annually. Um, and they said, okay, we need some way to track these approvers and who it sits with and that person approving it and when it comes up for renewal. So our goal with this feature is to solve that problem.
Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to focus on two files that we'll be adding. So I'm going to add these in. Okay, so you can see them here. They're ready to go. And you see one's a PDF and one's a Word document. So it just queues them up for me. And I'm going to click upload. And once it uploads it, you'll notice here I have copy link. So it already gives me a link that I can use to post somewhere if I need to post a link to that file. Then we're going to go to list all files because they have been uploaded. All right. So now we're going to focus on how to get all of the information about when that file needs to be reviewed. So we'll go to update that PDF because that is the file. The PDF is the actual file that we'll be seeing on the site. So we'll click update. And here we have the information. Keywords are just that, a word that we can use to describe this document. And as long as that word, if the word you want to use is not contained in the name of the file, then it's a good idea to add a keyword. So I might add like, let's do interchange. Okay, so it's a listing. And now I'm assuming it's a therapeutic interchange listing. So let's just go down here and we're going to select an owner. The owner is someone who has access to the Formweb editor. So it has to be someone that is an admin for Formweb. Um, so we're going to pick our owner. And then we're going to go, author is the person who actually is responsible for maintaining that file or keeping it up to date. So I need to go in and put an author here. Let's just put Caroline. Okay. And then the review date. When does that file need to be reviewed? Usually, what is that, a year, 2 years, 3 years? Whatever the time frame is for this particular file. So it would depend on, what this file pertains to. So let's add a review date. Let's just take it and do a year. So we'll go to the 20th is March and the 26th, to the 25th. Okay. So then we're going to add the facility. The facility is the building, I guess you would say. So we're going to, let's say, our farming memorial. And we'll go to department. What department owns this file? Let's say environmental services.
And that's an interesting little aside right there, Charlene, because So many of our clients actually use Formweb outside of the pharmacy. Nurses will have their own page. You can have someone in environmental services having their page. So it's important that we help the person who's the overall authority on the form website and the file manager to know where this file belongs and to whom.
Okay, thank you. So the next thing we want to do is we want to associate that Word document to this file. And the reason we want to do that is because when we get the notification that this file needs to be reviewed, it will attach that Word document to that email so that person will have the document right there. They can update it and get ready to send it off back to the person that needs to upload it to Form. So we'll look here. You can search for a file. If they're named the same, that's great because all you have to do is start typing the name of the file, and there it is. It populates right there. So we added that file, and we click Save.
And that was one of the features that our clients ask us for. They ask us to make sure that we kept the original document so that when the manager of the file section in Formweb needs to send out those reminders, they can send that original document. And the file manager is going to send an email to the owner of that particular area 90 days before that document is expired, 60 days, 30 days. So there's going to be a reminder so that that person can forward that on to the next person and get that done in a timely amount of time.
Okay, so you're seeing here the two documents. One says update to see references, and this one does not. Um, what that means is update to see references means that that document is linked somewhere within this site. And the way you find out is you click update to see references, and it shows you right down here, used in. It's an editable file version of this file. So it right there tells you where that is. Now, if I only wanted to see files that have expiration dates, I can click on this button and I'm only seeing files that have those dates. Notice this one is expired. So you have a little warning symbol for that one. All of these columns are sortable. So if I wanted to sort by department or author, I could do that. If I wanted to search by any of these, I could do that as well. So let's look at what an email looks like that I might be getting on a file that is expired. So this is the 60-day notification, and this email would go to the Formweb admin or an editor that was assigned to that document. And it would simply say that the following file is about to expire, and it calls out the PDF. Notice that the attachment is the Word document because that's the editable version. And it tells that that Formweb editor to forward this email to the author. This author is Caroline McBreen. And it tells them to review and update the attached document and return it to the Formweb editor. So boom, that's done. And that's a 60-day alert. You have a 30-day alert. Tells them it's about to expire in 30 days. And then you have a weekly alert that tells them the file has expired. So still gives them the document, still allows them to edit that document and send it out. So, all right. I will
All
stop.
right. Thank you, Charlene. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but 15 minutes goes by really quickly. So,
Caroline, can I say one thing?
sure.
If I'm sitting on this call, I'm saying to myself, this is a formulary product. Why do they have this file management built into it? And I'll tell you why. Because truly 60% of our clients In spite of the fact that they're large health systems with very robust IT departments and huge intranets, choose to host their documents in Formweb because they have control and easier access. So we looked at the volume of documents that were being hosted in Formweb by our clients and decided to upgrade our file management system to make it easier for them because yes, it's a formulary product, but boy, oh boy, there are tons of policies that go along with your formulary product. So that's why we chose to add a file management system and continue to improve it in a formulary product. Okay, thank you, Caroline. I just needed to give background.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. While Laura was talking, we've had this schedule up. I encourage you, if any one of these topics, and there are quite a few, are something you're struggling with, do not wait another 2 weeks to reach out to us. We would be happy to talk to you. You can email us at info@rformy.com or set up time with us. That'll really go to all of us, so you can get any one of us on the phone. And join us next time when we're talking about restrictions, which I know is a very hot topic. So hope to see all of you there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.